Boom. Ow.
Dude, that music goes hard, Trip.
Oh, you know what else goes hard? Me for the Lord. Come on, it's Advent. It's Advent.
I go hard in the paint for Jesus during Advent.
Yeah. One time, you know how like sometimes you're just driving along and people have like vanity plates or like witnessing bumper stickers and stuff. And I was behind this car that drove erratically enough that I was a little irritated. And then they have their CrossFit stickers up there along with one that looks like a CrossFit sticker, but it's really a witnessing sticker. And it's like, what is this? It was like CrossFit in body and soul. And it's like Jesus with like a cross doing a push-up. And I was just like,
Did you remember like back in our, like when evangelicalism was huge, how there was like all that parody stuff, like Christian versions of like secular brands and things like that?
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like that died and now it's coming back. And I kind of enjoy the kitschiness factor of the whole thing. You know what I mean? It takes me back to like nostalgia time whenever I would, wear that shirt that looked like a Coca-Cola shirt, except it said Jesus on it instead of Coca-Cola.
Or sun-kissed, but it's with an O. That's always a classic one.
That needs to make a comeback. Come on, man. Like tap into like millennial evangelical nostalgia and run those shirts again, somebody.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you everyone for joining or watching or listening to this later. This is Trip, and I'm joined by Ryan Burge, who's got graphs about religion like all day, every day. There's not a more religion graphy person I know on planet Earth than Ryan Burge. And he's back. He's back for another edition.
Why not? Why would I not come back for another edition?
I don't know. I ruined your witness. I don't know what
you caused me to backslide, Trip.
Because the wrong person joined and got all the other half of it that just the members of our Substacks got, and they were like, they really revealed their poor sense of humor and inappropriate jests. I mean, last time didn't we get into a discussion about like Shaquille O'Neal and fruit drink, and there was like a whole list of the most odd topics, and someone sent me an email and was just like, I love supporting your work. I had no idea the other half of what happens with you and Ryan that doesn't go on the internet.
Like in a good way or a bad way?
Oh, no, he was very amused. He was like, I always imagined I'd have fun hanging out with y'all, but then I realized anyone that spends 10 minutes talking about random NBA athletes and how they managed to monetize their retirement.
Oh, dude, Shaq is the king, man. Like, I don't know how. I was talking about. Let's talk about Zion Williamson just for a second. Can we talk about Zion Williamson for just a second?
We can talk about Zion. I just want to let everyone know that when we make our turn towards what will be on the internet publicly for everyone, we're going to talk about the Great Disconnect Like why the pulpit and the pew are so far apart in mainline congregations. We even got slides that like graphs that have yet to been revealed in public from Ryan today. We're going to be breaking graph news.
Breaking graph news. No, I wasn't talking about Zion. I'm not drinking, by the way. So whoever said that on YouTube, I don't drink during the day, hardly ever. Even on vacation. Well, on vacation I do. That's a different story, though. You know how that goes.
Yeah, that we actually discussed that last time.
Yeah, like I don't drink very much.
About all-inclusive vacations. We discussed that.
And then we were going to go on one. Then my life went a different direction. We're going to go on right before Christmas. Then stuff happened, and then we can't. It bums me out. So whatever. I'm over it.
Well, what about Zion Williamson? Because
Zion
if he's
Williamson,
stay healthy, he needs to be a Laker. This is just Tripp's thought about all-stars.
Yeah, but I think the thing about Zion that people don't know is that dude's 285 pounds and like as nimble as a cat, but he can't stay. What is it? What is it about him that he can't stay healthy?
You know, what is he doing? What is Zion doing?
Why can't he stay healthy? I want to know the answer.
Like, you got to not be led into temptation. Have you been to New Orleans? Like, you know what the food's like.
They're giving away free tickets in New Orleans, I just saw, though, to the lower bowl. They can't get anybody to show up.
I know, but see, if he moved to Los Angeles like Luka, he would drop 15, 20 pounds, pick up 5 of muscle, come back svelte, ready to jump up and down. I find that becoming a Laker, just like JJ Redick, in my head, he's permanently Duke, and I just despise Duke with a fury. And the moment he became Lakers head coach, I realized that my heart was strangely warmed. And I think it would do the same for Zion. He'd lose weight, grab rebounds. We need someone to defend. I'm just saying.
Maybe he could take over LeBron when LeBron retires.
Yeah.
He kind of built like a little bit bigger version of LeBron, except left-handed, obviously.
Yeah, and he would need to develop everything from 6 feet out. But
yeah, I mean that's a problem. That's always a problem. But I just think like he's one of those guys. He's like a what if guy. Like Greg Oden fits in that category of like what if guys for me.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah. Oh, look, see, here's what's happened when someone's new and didn't know that half of it gets edited out. Like Anthony, what's going on here? What's with the senseless jabbering? See.
Anthony?
So some people don't want the extra time. Others are like, no, I'm going to give you money, so I'll always get to watch it.
Well, listen, you're going to get both here, Anthony. All right. You're going to get graphs and you're going to get me pontificating about Zion Williamson and how I don't watch the NBA. But guess where I was yesterday, Tripp? Can I pivot the conversation? I was in the Big Apple.
Ooh, was it a Macintosh gala?
No, it was a lot of mental illness and drug use and a lot of traffic. That kind of Big Apple. Is where I was at. I'm sorry for if you're listening to this and you're from New York, I'm sorry. But every time I go to New York, I just get stressed out. And so I don't want to go back.
Is it similar feeling when you go to Chicago, or are you just more familiar with Chicago?
I would say that my blood pressure goes up 10% in New York and 5% in Chicago because I'm more familiar with Chicago. I've been there probably 15 times. I've been in New York like 4 times now. And these people are relentless in the comments. God dang, man.
Oh yeah. Look, what's funny is it encourages me. This is what
you think this is going to stop me?
Nah, that makes me want to say something even more random. Actually, though, I want to tell you what I did this morning.
Tell me. Was it smoke a cigar? Look at that. I went down.
Oh.
Got my chair broken.
Yeah, there might have been more than one involved. On Friday mornings.
Do you smoke a cigar in the morning?
Oh, morning cigars with coffee are like the best part of the day. It's like quiet time. Unless it's Friday mornings, then Bo and I do our Theology Nerd Throwdown on Friday mornings. And
which is this morning.
Yeah. Yeah. So this morning I had this idea because normally he like prompts internet topics and then we'll do what do you call it? He'll get whatever's talking about like religion online, and he'll like set me up and I'll rant and we'll go back and forth. And then and I said, dude, I have an idea for tomorrow. I got this. And then I was telling him about how we got an argument at my cigar lounge, power ranking Christmas movies. And so then we were discussing that and hymns. But then I'm like, I want to do a Mad Libs, but it's an outline of a Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh gosh.
and we're gonna make it the Theology Nerd Hallmark Christmas movie.
Yeah.
So me and then there's like 70 or 80 people that show up every Friday morning on the different streams, and they're in the chat and they're helping us fill this in. Well, that ended 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah.
And I just finished writing a 14-page single space version of our Mad Lib into a into a plot outline.
A real
Divided up
treatment, as they say.
Yeah. And there are 4 or 5 scenes I wrote out all the dialogue for, and I think we're gonna perform it next week on the Theology Nerd Throwdown. It's I can't tell you how it's either gonna be an epic bomb or not. The opposite.
Are you a screenwriter, Trip?
I may have won an award in high school for my one act.
Really?
I won the North Carolina theater competition. Yeah.
You contain multitudes. Like, you always tell me something I've never heard before about you.
Oh, well, Lori's in the chat. Lori, email me. I might get you to play the main character's mom, because I'm going to get people. I'm going to try to recruit people to read the parts.
Wait, is Lori the one from Florida who likes to smoke cigars too?
Yes.
Hi, Lori.
Yeah, I love Lori.
Yeah, Lori's good. Anthony is not on. He's on my naughty list right now. Anthony, I want you to know that.
Anthony is staying here 10 more minutes. Then I'm off. I don't have time for this nonsense. I have the book Dangerous Calling. I'll stick with that.
Bye.
Do you have a book called Dangerous Calling?
No, I don't know what that book.
So then it's not the premier Graphs About Religion person.
No, who's Dangerous Calling?
I don't know. I don't know.
Can't be that good.
I don't know.
It's not as good as the Vanishing Church, how the decline of moderate congregations, how the hollowing out of moderate congregations versus democracy, faith in us. Go read that. Oh, it's by Paul David Tripp.
Oh, okay. Okay. There we go.
That's not you.
Oh. No, I'm not Paul David. But all right. So yeah.
Oh,
so anyway.
By the way, Power Rankings Christmas movie, Home Alone is number 1. I don't give a crap what anyone says. 1 out of 1. Followed directly by Christmas Vacation, and then everything. Elf is 3. Then I don't give a crap about anything else. That's a fact.
What's the Christmas movie you like is like your heartstring one?
I don't feel things, Trip, so the answer is none.
You just put it in a graph.
No, I actually do like Love Actually.
Okay, at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is that like cheating or a kind goodbye?
No, it's cheating. I'm cynical about stuff like that. Yeah, no, it's definitely cheating. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even going to bring up the arguments that conversation has generated.
I do think that Love Actually is a very like structure wise, that's actually a very good movie. Like the way they like weave it all together. I just think I can appreciate that like the skill that went into telling those stories in a disparate but cohesive way. Thumbs up.
Lance David on the Substack chat. He's a It's a Wonderful Life fan, which I love It's a Wonderful Life too.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you a fast fun fact about me. I've never seen It's a Wonderful Life. I've not. Nope.
Oh, it'd be good for you. Like it's a Jimmy Stewart, peak Jimmy Stewart.
I do love Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. That's a banger, of course.
Yeah.
I've also never seen A Christmas Story either.
You haven't seen A Christmas Story?
Nope.
So like when someone gets their Christmas decorations out and there's like a leg lamp, you're just like, why does that exist?
No, I get the reference, but I just don't. I've tried to watch it before, and I guess it's one of the movies when they grab you when you're 8, it makes a whole lot of sense. But when you're 40 and watch it for the first time, it makes no sense at all.
Well, there's this channel called TNT that plays it nonstop.
Oh, dude.
It was always on growing up. If you just had you're like, oh, it is A Christmas Story marathon. It's back to back to back showings.
Yeah. I just don't care. I'd rather just watch Christmas Vacation or Home Alone or Elf. Those are the ones I care about.
Yeah. All right. Here's the alternative pool right here. This is alternative pool. Harry Potter, Sorcerer's Stone, because you got the Christmas scene. Watching those with little kids, we'd watch them after we read the book.
Yep.
It was like when it gets to Christmas in the Harry Potter film, that's when we go get our snack, because it's like halfway through. And then if you're like need something for them to finish watching it, you're like, oh, that's when you get your hot tamales.
That's your snack is hot tamales?
I like hot tamales and dots. I like chewy things.
Oh, have you had nerd clusters?
My kids love nerd clusters.
Oh man, the texture of that is just a delight, man. Like the soft and chewy at the same, you know what I mean? Like crispy but chewy at the same time. Ooh, love it.
I think as an adult, like try to limit the carbohydrates. So now they get candy and I get bourbon. That's how I rotated the carbs.
Well, you're a grown man now. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You still hitting the macros hard on the protein?
Oh yeah, I am.
For those of you who don't know, Trip literally texted me a picture of his macro count last time we had this conversation. I mean, like I feel like I live in like you got too much in the broadcast. You know what I mean? Like the broverse with Rogan and all that stuff about carbs and proteins.
I'm just waiting for that invite. I mean, I can talk about aliens and
vaccines.
Yeah. I mean, like, they haven't hurt me yet.
Yet.
I'm going to be like, you know how you smoke cigars with some of your guests?
Yeah.
I'm going to smoke a cigar and take Tylenol.
You don't do BJJ, though, do you?
I don't even know what BJJ is.
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's big with the Rogan people.
No, I know they like that stuff. I'm really not a fighter. I'm more of a lover.
I mean, you look at you. You look like a teddy bear, Trip.
Oh, man. You know, I've been called a bear before. That's fact.
In a different context, I assume, than what the context we're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, context matters sometimes.
Substack, OnlyFans, they're one click away from each other. Let's be honest here.
I've thought if things got desperate that I could have an OnlyFans, but I just sit in a hot tub, smoke a cigar, and use a raspy voice while answering theological questions.
It would make $7.
Yeah, but it would be the most fun I made for $7, right? Like, let's say someone was like, "What's the deal with Calvinism?" Right? Say maybe that's what they say, and I'm like, "Oh, Calvin likes his depravity double," like that.
In my world, atonement's not limited, though.
Yeah. My favorite. I'm a 1-point Calvinist. I love perseverance of the saints.
And hey, baby, my grace is irresistible.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Lance over in Substack says he's totally down.
I mean, Anthony's probably loving this conversation right now.
No, Anthony's gone.
Oh,
Anthony's gone. God. He said he's going to wait for the edited version, which I tell people he should. I mean, I have a hard time watching live streams at normal pace because you can't speed them up.
You want to talk faster?
Oh, do you think people want me or you to talk faster?
Oh, God in heaven. I already talk at like 1.5 the way it is. So
I got Diana and I are doing an Advent class right now. And last week or this week at the beginning of the week when we were doing it, it was my turn to do the opening like mini lecture thing. And it was on the Gospel of Mark Advent thing. And I get done and then I look at the comments and there's like lots of really nice ones. And then there's like 3 or 4 people going, Trip talks way too fast.
That's when I used to start when I first started preaching. That was the comment I got all the time was you talk too fast. And I don't know if it's a combination of like people got used to the speed I'm talking at, or I just slowed down, or both. But I don't get that comment as much anymore. But I do think like us speaking quickly actually in the culture that we're in right now is actually a huge advantage because everyone does listen to everything at like 1.25 or 1.5x. So might as well just give that to him right out of the chute, you know?
Yeah. Elgin is like, Dad, Stranger Things is really good. I want you to watch the end of it with me. Like when it comes out, can you catch up?
Yep.
And he's like, it's on Netflix. So I've like almost caught up by watching it at 1.5 while doing my kettlebells. And so like I'm in the newest season, like the parts before, the Christmas thing.
I haven't watched a single episode.
Oh, I hadn't until, he just turned 18 last week.
Okay.
And so like now he could really get me to do a lot of things because I'm just thinking of that like in the next year I'll cross the threshold where 90% of the time I get to spend with him before I'm dead's over.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, all right,
whatever you want to do, dude.
I'll watch some Stranger Things. So,
I watched on the plane that documentary about Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. Holy crap, it's good. You got to watch it.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's Jerry Jones is crazy. He's really charismatic, but really interesting, like crazy as hell. I love it. So there you go.
Yeah. So, you know what else is strange? What's a stranger thing?
What?
Mainline religion.
No, listen, we're going to get in so much trouble today, I feel like, Trip, talking about the main line. Although we talk crap about the main line, which is funny because both you and I mean, at least me, I was a mainline pastor for 20 years. And I think you would describe yourself as a mainline Protestant.
I've worked at UCC and DOC churches for 15 years.
Listen, we're one of you, okay? So we're only jumping on our own grave right now. I want you to know that. People act like we're like hurling rocks across the river. No. We are on the other side of the river throwing rocks at our own faces right now. So welcome to the party.
Oh, well, I can't wait to, have rocks thrown. At least it's on video, so they'll be hitting their computer.
That's all. That's all that matters,
Have you, it says something about you that you haven't watched A Wonderful Life, but you've watched a Jerry Jones documentary.
I like documentaries, dude. I don't know what to tell you. Like I don't watch. Like I've never watched The Office. I have no desire to watch Parks and Rec. I mean, I got through like, I'm watching Task while I'm working on my. I'm doing the.
That's good.
Yeah, it's good. I'm on the elliptical. I run, do an hour of that, and episodes are an hour, so it's like a perfect time period to like watch an episode, and I enjoy that. But I have shows that I watch only on the elliptical because I don't have it. Like I'm locked in. I have nothing else to do. Like, and I love that 1 hour thing. So
not elliptical, but with kettlebells, I watch lots of like Bosch or.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Or like, all the little streaming shows have those random like spy or investigation shows that you don't really have to pay that much attention to, but it will distract you from the fact that you're a sweating bear, and and you still don't. You want to know when the eventual payoff of working out all the time is.
I don't know when I ride that stupid spin bike like 3 times a week, and I don't feel any better. I feel worse, actually. I don't even know why I do it. I guess I do it because at least I can tell my doctor I'm trying.
Yeah. No, I know that. I mean that. I know the feeling.
I'm just gonna get on that new drug. You see that new drug Trip, Retarditude or whatever it's called, it just came out. 27% weight loss average.
Ooh. Did they finally allow it to be released because you could say the name out loud? Now Trump's president.
I'm not saying. I don't know. It's retarditude.
I know what you meant. I was just joking.
You know what I'm talking about. Ret is what they call you. But like the thing is, like we're all gonna be like microdosing this crap in the future. You know what I mean? To lose like 10, 15, 20 pounds without doing much. I mean, it's gonna be a real thing.
Yeah. I feel like we have to wait a little while to see what the actual long-term impact is on other people.
I don't know. Not being fat seems like a pretty good outcome.
Oh, I understand. It'd be way easier than,
Yes, I'm 40. I'm 43 for God's sakes. Leave me alone.
I know we're like we're in the same grade.
I know. Wait, you graduate in 2000?
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. Smoke-free class of 2000. That was us.
You know the song?
Mm-mm.
We are the smoke-free class of 2000. Yeah, they had
What was that that graduation song? You know what I'm talking about? It's like Vitamin K or something like that wrote it. It was like the only song. Friends Forever?
Yeah, that's Michael W. Smith.
No. Like whatever.
Yeah, I know what
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
Vitamin K
graduation song.
Yeah, the graduation song. Yeah, was that our year?
I definitely remember that one.
Vitamin C.
Yes, Vitamin C.
Vitamin C. That's right. 1999.
And then what was the other one? The Good Riddance. Green.
Oh, yeah, Time of Your Life. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
You know what else was on? You remember Here's the Night by Eve 6?
Mm-hmm.
That was a great song too.
And I have the most epic playlist for exactly our year that runs basically all the cool stuff from middle school through high school that we would have got on BMG music by getting those free CDs.
Oh yeah. Now we're talking. Let's go.
Yeah.
I miss albums though, don't you?
Yes. Y2K high school graduation has aura. Wow.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Kyle says so off the internet.
And I'm not sensitive. I'm just look the gray. Look at this gray right here. I want you to
yes. I call it alt blonde. That's what I
do. Oh, hey, one more thing. I'm getting eye surgery, so I don't have to wear glasses ever again. I'm getting it like in 6 weeks. It's going to be a delight. I'm telling you right now.
I've thought about that, but I've just never had any surgery or anything.
They don't put you out.
I know. That means you have to smell stuff burning on your eye.
Okay, listen. I'm getting what's called ICL, which is like an internal contact lens put in. and they don't burn anything. They just cut a slit in the top of your eye, drop it in there, and you're done.
Look, we'll see. I also think at this point, I don't know what I would do without my glasses on because I have them on all the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't recognize myself.
Take your glasses off right now, Trip. Let people see what you got. Oh, what a handsome devil that is.
If I had the surgery and shaved my beard on the same day,
yeah,
I would look 30. My face is such a baby face.
Oh, I'm getting mono. I'm actually getting mono vision. I'm getting it only in one eye. And this eye is going to stay the way it is, so I can see up close with this eye and far away from this eye. So that's because I'm old enough now to do it.
Are you going to get a patch?
No, I'm not getting
where you can like pirate it? Where you switch it over if you're going.
I got to wear a patch the first night, though, so in my sleep, I don't rub my eye and mess the contact lens up. I got to like tape this thing to my face like this. Be stupid. Whatever. Dude, I just don't want to wear glasses. They're a pain in the butt. You know, every time you take your your hoodie off, you got to take your glasses off and all that stuff. I hate all that.
Well, I'm just really glad that you're going to be releasing yourself from the burden of taking your glasses off when you remove your hoodie.
Okay, listen.
I mean, that's a quality of life bump right there. Just think, right after you don't need glasses, you could watch It's a Wonderful Life.
With my left eye only.
And then you're just sitting there looking at all these people in the 50s going, man, y'all have to wear glasses.
You ever think about the fact that people were blind most of their lives back in the day?
Yes. I've thought, like, what the world would I do if I couldn't, like, read? Because I'm blind. I can't see jack. I got a wrinkle in my cornea because I got stuck coming out of my mother, and they used a sucker machine. And so my depth perception's horrible. Like, I would close an eye when batting, playing baseball, just so I could see straight.
Oh, that probably didn't turn out too good.
Nah, it was fine when I didn't know I had bad vision till like middle school. We were driving, and my family are laughing at someone's license plate, and I'm like, "What's so funny?" And they say, "Look at the license plate," and I'm like, "You can read them?"
Wait a minute.
And so, you know, they're like, I guess we need to go to the eye doctor. And I get glasses, and we're driving home. And this is middle school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, junk. You can see the leaves on trees while the car's moving.
You're like, wait a minute. There's a whole world happening in the world, and I never knew it was happening.
I was like, do y'all see all of this all the time?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, that really, like, people say when they get it from the table from the surgery, like, you immediately go, holy crap. Like, everything's even clearer than glasses because the contact is like inside your eye, so you don't even notice it. Like, it's so he told me he had like they had like 9 eye doctors come to this place and do the surgery, and then within 60 seconds they could see 20/20 after having the contact lens put in.
Wow, we're gonna have to get a report next time.
I'm telling you.
When is it?
In February. So next, well, it'll be after the class though, maybe, I think.
Oh, that's a good transition.
That'll be. Oh, see that? We have a class coming up, everybody.
Yeah. Hey, everyone. Y'all are the first to know this. But in January, Ryan and Tony, who've been doing the first giant study on the nuns, they got a big grant from JTF. Right. Thank you, Lord Templeton.
Yes, thank you.
And we're going to be doing a class on it. I just put the link in the chat. I'll have to put it on the other one too. But you can totally come join us. And then you're going to learn all about the nuns. They got a typology of the nuns, all sorts of exciting new things waiting to be revealed.
We have guests too.
Yes.
Surprise guests, I guess we could say.
Yeah. We can call them surprises.
Yeah.
But after we fill in the other blanks, we'll unsurprise all of them at once.
And I just got confirmation from one really good one earlier today that you guys are all going to enjoy.
Yeah, and y'all don't know if it's Barack Obama or not. You have to wait.
I mean, he's kind of a nun, I guess, functionally.
Yeah. I mean, well, he's UCC, so.
That's a nun.
So what's that? But what's the nun in name only?
Nun in name only. Yeah, Nino.
Nun in name only. See, that's one of the parts of the typology.
That's right, Nino.
But we're not going to tell you the rest of it today.
Nope.
You might have to go to nunsproject.com to learn more about it.
You should.
Because we're going to talk about the Mainline.
We're going to talk about the Mainline today. And then the nuns in January. She also signed up for the class. Yeah. It's going to be great. Tony and I, a lot of data, a lot of graphs, a lot of discussion, a new understanding of non-religion in America. So be there.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know what's going to happen though?
Mm-hmm.
When we get on that first session,
mm-hmm.
right before we're starting, Tony's going to say with a very serious face, Trip, we're going to need to stay focused here. So we'll be warned before we go live. And I'm saying that because, our buddy Anthony, who left to go read a book, or maybe watch this later when it's edited at 1.5 speed.
Yep.
He'll be happy. It won't happen.
He will be. Yeah.
We'll get to the point.
So when I was in New York City yesterday, I was doing the Ross Douthat podcast, which, let's be fair, Trip, a little bit higher up on the rankings than Homebrew, but not by much. Not by much. His producer basically said very nicely, "Hey guys, it's 10:30." In the microphone, like in the overhead, like, so start talking about the actual podcast, dumb instead of like strolling about whatever. So It happens to all of us, is what I'm trying to say.
It does. Yeah. All right. So, I'm gonna hit the air horn so I know what to cut off before, when editing.
We didn't even banter that long, y'all. Like half an hour.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right. Oh, yeah. What is up, everybody? This is Trip. I'm with my buddy, RYAN BURGE. We got hot takes and graphs about religion. And today we're talking about the great gift. Jeez,
Come on, you stepped on it.
I know. We're talking about the great disconnect. About that gap between the pulpit and the pews.
Oh, you said pulpit. You said pulpit.
Pulpit.
The pulpit. Love that.
Pulpit and the pews.
That's right. Well done.
The clergy and the congregation.
Mm-hmm.
The ordained and the not.
There could be not ordained people in the congregation and ordained, you know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. I was just, whatever. I guess I'll have to ask ChatGPT for 4 other examples of alliterating, combinations between pulpit and pew.
My 11-year-old asked ChatGPT for D's nuts jokes last week.
Yeah, well, don't worry. When he's 13, he won't need to ask ChatGPT. Those things just start flying.
And then the funny thing, he would read one to me and mess up the word, so it wasn't even funny at all. It was the best.
You got to show him the YouTube video of that kid that registered to run for president as the name D's Nuts. And it was on their like local news show, and it is so funny.
I don't care how old I am or mature I am. D's Nuts is funny. Period.
Says every guy that graduated high school in the year 2000.
Absolutely. And then my wife is just like rolling her eyes so hard, like she's gonna fall over. And I'm like, no, you gotta let this play out, okay? Just get it out of their system now, because you got to.
Oh man, Elgin, our 18-year-old, regularly comments that his humor has matured past mine.
What is that supposed to mean?
That when his younger siblings make similar jokes, I laugh at them, and he looks at me like, "Why are you encouraging this?"
Dude, farts are funny. D's nuts jokes are funny. Your mom jokes are funny. I don't care what anybody says. My humor is trapped in like 2002, and I will leave it there for the rest of my life.
Praise be. Which is a year before we could drink. So,
maybe you couldn't.
Wow, you were the wrong kind of a wet Baptist that drank early.
I didn't drink. I went to Canada when I was 19 and drank, though, because it was legal there.
Oh, well, it's really important to obey laws. So
that's right.
Romans 13 and stuff.
Hit me with a graph, for God's sake.
All right, here we go. Boom.
There's nothing there.
Oh, yeah, that's the prep slide. I was just...
Okay, friends, Romans countrymen. Guess what this is, Trip? This is the future of American religion in one single graph. It's the age. Now, this is adults. Okay, let's be very clear about that. I cannot get the age, like what percentage of each denomination is kids, because unless they give it to me, I don't have it. And I can't poll kids because, oh my God in heaven, that would be a problem. Like,
you'd have to start polling on Roblox.
Yeah, I'm sure WashU's IRB department would love that. Okay. You don't realize how hard it is to get stuff through IRB, folks. It's impossible. Even like very basic stuff is impossible to get through IRB. So we ain't polling no kids. So this is adults. And guess who is the oldest denomination in America?
Tech.
The Episcopal, not ECUSA. They don't call themselves that anymore. It's TEC now. The Episcopal Church. 22% are 75 and above, 41%. So it's like, what's that? 2/3 of them have seen their 60th birthday, for God's sakes. That's not good.
Well, I mean, or they got a higher average lifespan.
They do, but God, Trip, you out. No, even if you live to be 95 doesn't mean you're going to have good 95. You know what I mean? You might be not knowing where you are at 95. Dementia is a real thing, buddy. So,
I understand.
I'm just saying, like, look at the top 5, okay? Episcopalians. Now, Lutheran Missouri Synod is actually an evangelical denomination, but, then United Methodist, which, that's the flagship mainline, and then Presbyterian Church USA, mainline, and then ELCA, mainline, and then PCA, which is evangelical, and then United Church of Christ, which is mainline. Guess what? The mainline is a bunch of old people. I know this is like saying nothing, revelatory at this point, but good gravy. I actually have a post coming in, let's see, January called When's half your congregation going to be dead?
Oh, is that one of those pick-me-up conversations at your next church council meeting?
Oh, my gosh. Well, I just think, like, my job is to tell you, like, things are bad, man, and they're going to get worse. And this is a big reason the mainline's in a whole lot of trouble, is because they're just old, and there's hardly any kids. And you got to, just to keep the number flat, you got to replace every death with a new addition. And that's not to raise the number. That's just to keep the boat level. And you and I both know that sure as the world ain't happening in any mainline. Even any evangelical traditions aren't doing that right now either.
Yeah, if you did have kids on there, the crazy thing is, I mean, we do know the average birth rate based on denominations, right? Like mainline Protestants, there's enough features that signal like a 1.3 average kids versus an evangelical, right?
Yeah, no, mainline birth rates are lower for sure. And mainline retention rates, meaning like you were born into the mainline, you stayed mainline into adulthood, are actually about 25 points lower than evangelical retention rates. So if you have 100 kids in a mainline church, about 40 of them are going to leave the mainline church into adulthood anyway. So your fertility have to go up even higher just to offset the losses from retention.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know quite a few of like the young adults at the mainline Protestant churches I worked at didn't grow up mainline. They grew up evangelical. And then for like, like more progressive ethics or whatever, they're like, well, I'm really Christian. Now I'm going to go to this church. And then they get there and they come ask you, the minister, so how many of the people at this church are Christian, or like, do they read their Bible? Like, these things that they just assume are the case. And
do they read the Bible here? No, dog, we got none of that.
They're like, I'm like, well, I do. I try to read it enough to cover, raise the average.
I'm going to throw some shade right now, but they read the Bible a whole lot more in the mainline church than they do in the Catholic Church.
But what if you count all the Bible passages that are in the liturgy?
That's the only Bible those people hear on a weekly basis.
John Dominic Crossan joked that it wasn't until he was already a priest, and then they were like, "You're really smart. You're going to go do your PhD." And it wasn't until he was like in graduate school for a Bible PhD that he was like, "Oh, that's when I started reading the New Testament in outside the context of prayer books."
Wait a minute, you can just like read this on the side for like fun or entertainment?
He's like, I already knew Greek and Latin because I was a Catholic school in Ireland, so like we already read Virgil. But Matthew on its own, oh.
Funny story, when my wife and I started dating, she's Catholic, I'm Protestant, Southern Baptist growing up, walked in my bedroom for the first time and I had like a bookshelf and I had like 7 Bibles on it. She goes, "Why you got so many Bibles?" I was like, "How many Bibles you got?" She's like, "1." I go, "Oh." You know what I mean? It's like a commemorative Bible, like my first baptism or communion or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we're different on these things. Like Baptists are definitely, listen, you can say what you want about Baptists. Baptists really do read the Bible. Like you have to, because you believe in, priesthood of the believer and soul autonomy and all that stuff. You kind of have to read the Bible a little bit more than the mainline does.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a good idea to do that.
You should. Read the Bible, people. Good idea.
All right. So the next one is a share of each denomination's adults who are
boomers.
baby boomers.
Yeah. And
This looks
that's really
very
like, not to
similar
give away
to
the
the age
post,
gap.
but like the conceit of the post is that like a lot of these churches are being floated through a whole wad of baby boomers, like in this really tight age band, which is fine now because they're still kind of young-ish and spry-ish and can still, like, do the volunteer work and do the donations and do all the stuff that churches need to like maintain themselves. But in the not too distant future, in a 15, 20-year time window, that big, fat part of the distribution is going to age into the nursing home or the funeral home. And there's no one on the backside of that distribution to even come close to replacing all the losses that you're going to see when the baby boomers, we call it the silver tsunami. There's a fancy word for you. You like that, Trip?
Silver tsunami.
Silver tsunami. It's basically the idea that our nursing home system and memory care system is going to be completely overwhelmed by all these boomers, getting dementia and aging into these homes all at one time. And when they go into those homes, they're not coming to church anymore. And then who are you going to have left? Ernest Hemingway is one of his characters in The Sun Also Rises, was asked how he went broke. He said really slowly, then all at once. And that's what's going to happen to the main. Actually, a lot of churches, not just the mainline, a lot of churches are just like, oh, we're fine. Then in like a 5-year window, they're going to be very much not fine. And it's going to happen before they really understand what's happening to them. I guess part of what I do is like, raise the alarm bell and say, this is happening. It's going to happen soon. You're just not ready for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Clergy in the comments. Dave says, I think about that a lot. 5 years from now, I don't know who will be my volunteers.
Yep. I mean, that's a real problem. Most churches are run. I mean, the pastor does do a lot of stuff, but they can't do everything.
Mm-hmm.
You need, like, for instance, like the funeral meal. If someone in your church, passes away and the family wants a meal after the funeral, it's very standard to provide that meal. Who's going to provide that meal when all the people providing the meal now are the ones at the funeral home? So I just don't think churches are fully aware of how fast this is going to happen. All like the sort of secondary effects that they're not thinking about in this change happening so quickly.
Yeah, to me, one of the things, like looking at a lot of this, should suggest you would be, we should reallocate our resources in the present to have less but more vibrant congregations, so that we'll actually do a good job of supporting our large baby boomer collective as they age.
Yep.
And have critical mass for young families and kids. And even crazier, what happens if there's like actual multitude of single adults at a church where they could meet potential partners not on a swiping device?
If I have to swipe on a device to find my partner, I just give up. I'll die alone.
That's what Y2K guys say.
Yeah, because we can. I will say all the time, like, if my wife died, I'd be screwed. I have no idea how to date in 2025. How do you even do it?
Yeah. I don't know. I've had friends, that divorce and then start telling me about it, and it sounds depressing.
I just get a dog. Just that's my only companion. I don't need to go on Tinder or whatever people do now.
Well, in next week on Theology Nerd Throwdown, when we have our Theology Nerd Hallmark Christmas movie, the main character, one of the main characters, Clayton, who lives in the small town in Canada as a taxidermist, he has a 3-legged toy poodle named Gretzky.
That's a good name.
Yeah, I figure it's very Canadian.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's good.
I know. And he goes to a Lutheran church.
ELCA, of course.
Whatever I don't know what the Lutheran versions are in
Canada.
But
the ELCA is usually like in Minnesota, which is close to Canada, which I would guess kind of transfers.
But I don't think of Canadians volunteering to join America at their church.
Yeah.
Like Evangelical Lutheran Church of America. Were they the ELAC?
Olka?
Yeah, I don't know.
They should drop evangelical from their name because it's confusing to people.
Oh, yeah. Once a month, someone posts that in like the big ELC clergy Facebook group, and it's hilarious to watch.
Because people get all chuffed.
Yeah.
All heated about that whole conversation.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes when people think, oh, he works at Luther, so he must be Lutheran, so they send me their hot takes about ELCA stuff, and then I have to text one of the deans to ask what I'm being asked my opinion about. And the funniest one, I'm sure you'll believe this, but okay, every mainline seminary, just like a mainline church, is having the same problems, except as opposed to like, the age of the congregation, it's the age of the students, good jobs for them after they get their degree,
Yep.
all these similar kind of issues. They get this giant grant from like Lilly or something that's working with big congregations. I don't even understand whatever it is. I just got a few emails from people that were mad that I'm supporting Lutheran school partnering with non-Lutheran congregations, and one of them wasn't open and affirming. And like they started telling me this church had this minister there who is friends on Facebook with this guy who's close to being friends with a Christian nationalist. And, it was just like everything a progressive person, they could find a problem with it, I'm just sitting there going, why am I getting these? I don't even know what this is about. Right. And I like messaged someone at the school, and they were like, oh, we got this big grant, and he's like, it's written to participate with large churches that will be able to work with you to do like education in a church-based setting and blah 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 blah. So you need a church big enough, like with staff enough to do the thing, right? And they're like, how many ELCA churches do you think are that big that will dedicate staff time to helping pioneer like congregations?
Oh, there might be 100 in America total.
Yeah. So anyway, and
that is funny though. Oh, you can't possibly work with a church that's not, of our political tribe, for God's sakes.
I know, because what we know is 100% sure that mainline Protestant churches are just as politically and theologically progressive as their lay people. That is a guaranteed fact that's about to get explored in some of these.
Good. Hey, this is just growth and decline.
Oh, sorry.
You stepped on it.
Set up early. No. Here's another depressing chart.
Yeah. You like this one, friend. This is hot take. This is new data, by the way. You're going to see this in like a couple weeks. I think next week, maybe.
The percentage of change in membership since the year 2000 when Ryan and I graduated high school.
You got it. I mean, and the thing is, like, I have 12 denominations here because those are the 12 I could get data on. Like, there's only 3 that have grown, and they're very small. Like, besides the Assemblies of God, that's not small. It's actually fairly large. But the Presbyterian Church in America is about 400,000. Anglican Church North America is about 125,000, and the Assemblies is actually over 3 million. So that's actually a big denomination, and it's growing consistently. I always say, like, the Assemblies of God is the only large denomination in America that is seen sustained growth, over the last 50 years, and they're up 19% since 2000. But you can see, like, the Disciples of Christ is down. This is just in the last 23, 24 years. Disciples of Christ is down 2/3. PCUSA is down over. They're by half, dude. Like, United Methodist down by half. United Church of Christ down by half. ELCA only down by 46%. Congratulations. But one thing I do want to point out is Southern Baptists are on the red there, down 20.3% since 2000 as well. So there's a lot of churches in the decline right now. A lot of denominations in decline right now. Not just mainline churches, obviously the bigger drops, but it's a lot of churches are dropping right now. So denominations are down, period. Big ones especially.
Well, okay, question. Do we know for like the Anglican Church of America and the PCA, what percentage of those were congregations that used to be a mainline one and just switched teams?
That's so fun because ACNA, I'm looking at the data and they were like small, and they grew like 25,000 in a year. And then I went and like looked it up. It's because the Episcopal Diocese of South Carolina joined the ACNA. And that added 25,000. So I think a lot of like the PCA is like all, like refugees from the PCUSA. And the Anglicans, if you take that volatility out from that, like those mergers kind of thing and like actual organic growth, and it's very modest. They added, I think last year they added 3,000 new members of 125,000. So 3,000 in the grand swath of American Christianity is a rounding error at the end of the day.
All right.
Now it's time to make everyone mad, right, Trip?
Okay, well, back to what I was saying earlier, Ryan.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows it's an absolute fact that if you're looking for really progressive Christians, all you got to do is go to a mainline Protestant church. Trust me, I know their ministers.
They're all over. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me set this up. So this is a question
You got to
I've been asked.
describe it enough for those just listening, so they feel the lure to go check them out.
Yeah. Let me just give you some context by saying this. It is insanely hard to get data about clergy because obviously it's a weird sample, right? You got to like look out for them specifically. And God bless PRRI, Public Religion Research Institute, because they got a grant to do a survey of mainline clergy, and they looked at the Seven Sisters, the ones we talk about a lot, and it was done in 2022 and 2023. So this data is actually fairly recent. So I feel fairly confident that what we're seeing here it hasn't shifted a lot in the last couple of years. And here's what we find. The perception that the mainline clergy are very liberal is absolutely true. Among the evangelical Lutheran set, 60% of clergy say they're liberal. It's only 25% of the laity. In the Presbyterian Church USA, it's basically the same thing, 60 versus 25. Episcopalians, it's 60% versus 34%. United Church of Christ, your people, Trip, 71% liberal clergy, just 27. And you can see, by the way, look across all those, the laity lines.
Yeah.
It's all around 25%.
Just a quarter.
Just a quarter of the people in the pews identify as liberal, when the people in the pulpit, it's 60, 65% in many of these denominations. There's a huge disconnect politically and by the way, this is politically liberal, ideologically liberal, not theologically liberal, between the pulpit and the pew.
Yeah. Casey on Substack says she's curious as to how many people said not liberal because they're communist or socialist. Because I know, like, I sometimes have that feeling when they're like, if you're asked, "Oh, are you a Democrat?" and you're like, "Regretfully." Yeah.
But the thing is, this is not Democrats, this is a liberal.
I guess
very liberal is like, I think a lot of communists would just pick very liberal and be done with it. Some of them write in, but I don't care about those people. So
what if they send you a paragraph?
I'm not going to read it.
See, that's what I have to do. I have to get you to show me a chart, and then I tell you what my paragraph would have been that you ignored.
I'm not going to read your paragraph. I'm just telling you right now. People write me stuff like I love, like, I do get emails a lot and I appreciate them, but I just I can't respond to all of them, nor can I read all of them, because honestly, it's a lot of people just spilling their guts about stuff that I can't, like, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? In response to this. So God love you. Liberal mainline clergy, though, Trip, this is not I think, well, okay, first off, it's not, the liberal mainline clergy thing is I think pretty well known. But I think the idea of like the people in the pews, like mainline Protestants, the pews are super liberal, is just false. It's not here. 25% of them say they're liberal. I wouldn't call that overwhelmingly liberal. I mean, there's definitely some liberal people in the mainline, but it's not the predominant, loudest voice in the congregation. The average, you got to think about this. The average member of a mainline church in America today is like a 60-year-old white retired school teacher living in Minnesota.
Yeah, they are like Morning Joe Democrats.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I call them country club Republicans or Morning Joe Democrats, right? Like just one click left of center or one click right of center. They're not on the edges like the clergy are. And I can't emphasize this enough. I don't know why. Like, like this is to me, it's like, why, if you know this is true, then why are we leaning in? Why are the clergy leaning in so hard to their liberalness when this is not what the congregations want?
Because Jesus told us to, Ryan. Come on.
Yes, that's exactly right. Jesus wanted you to be a communist, is what I've been told.
No, that was the early church.
Jesus. Hey, did you see the clip of James Tallarico, the guy from Texas running for Senate? You know what I'm talking about?
You mean like his visit to the Joe Rogan podcast?
Oh, I didn't know he did that. Did he do that?
He did. Someone sent it to me. I have some people that will send me Joe Rogan episodes when they think I'll find it interesting.
I like that.
But it was funny because the friend that sent it to me, former student, was like, "Oh, I think you'll really like him. He reminded me of you." And then I responded and was like, "I don't know. He took APAC funding." I mean, I don't even know if he did.
I don't think he did he?
I don't know. I'm not in Texas.
All he said was,
any Democrat that could run for Senate there, I wouldn't vote for against Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
Gee.
Well,
yeah.
Cancun Cruz.
Yeah.
The numbers for the UMC are pre-disaffiliation, by the way.
So they're gonna grow up just like the rest of the mainline Protestant church.
You got it, dude. Anyway, James Tallarico basically said, like, I don't think it's very Christian that we live in a country where when you get sick, you have to get medical care through GoFundMe, not through an insurance. And like, I'm like, that's probably right. You know what I mean? Like, and that makes you a liberal. I don't know what liberal is anymore, but guess what? The mainliners, they love liberal. They're very liberal.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, never mind. I'm passing on an excursus, Ryan.
I'm so proud of you, Trip.
I know, because I know at some point I'll probably get triggered and rant, and then you'll say, "There's my little Bernie bro," and then I don't want to use it right now.
You're saving it up for the right time.
I'm saving it up because I know what's coming. Like this next graph.
This is Republican share. Yeah. So like there's two dimensions to, obviously there's partisanship and ideology. The last one was ideology. This is partisanship. I mean, like think about this. A majority of United Methodists identify as Republicans, not vote for 60% of United Methodists voted for Trump, but 52% say they're Republicans. Good luck finding a Republican member of the clergy in almost any. I mean, listen, in evangelical Lutherans is less than 10%, Presbyterian Church USA less than 10%, Episcopalians less than 2%. You know what's a really odd duck? A Republican member of the clergy in the United Church of Christ, 3%. Trip 3% are Republicans, and even in like the American Baptists throw the number out because it's small, but United Methodists it's 19%. So even the United Methodists are not Republicans.
Oh, you know what I'm picking up from this, Ryan? That seminary professors do a better job communicating the radical call to justice of the tradition to the clergy than the clergy do to their congregation.
Why are they so bad at that, Treb? Why can't they be better? And
maybe they need new preaching professors. I don't know, but I just see the theologians did a good job.
But no, here's the social science answer. People self-select into mainline seminaries because they're already social justice warriors, and they just get reinforced when they go into seminary about all the social justice things, and they come out even more strident in what they already believe.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you got to make people more confident in the truth, and then make them blind to anyway. I was in a text thread with, well, I guess I probably shouldn't put names, but one of them is a dean of a mainline Protestant seminary. Other is a professor, and we're from 3 different generations. Like I'm the youngest in this text thread. It usually is about sports and venting, but one of them was talking about a conversation they were having with another staff member, and said, it seems like students have changed quite a bit, because when I went to divinity school, the Gen X member of this chat, when I went to divinity school, we went because we were wanting to learn how to be a minister. And so many of our students don't do that anymore. The old dean on there goes, look, since I've been doing this, we've had 3 generations of different students entering. Early on, they showed up and said, I've been called to ministry and I want to do a good job. The next one showed up and said, I got some religious baggage. I want to know if I can still be Christian. And now the new ones go, God's interesting. I wonder
what about that God thing?
God.
Imagine going to seminary with that approach. Hey, tell me more about that Jesus thing.
I've just been thinking I might believe in God, so I went to seminary.
Never read the Bible really much to speak of,
but if it's any idea, I'll at least look at the AI summary of it.
That's all you need. But I do, like, listen, I take to task the main line in this post, which got me some blowback, but whatever. Like, would a Republican even want to go to a mainline seminary right now, or a conservative?
I don't know. I mean, it depends on if they want like robust theological education that's grounded in the larger history of the church, open to critical reflection and engaging sciences, valuing the beauty of other religious tradition, and orient the way of life in the world to the way of Jesus for the flourishing of all. But I mean, like, if you just want ICE to pick up random citizens because they had the wrong skin color, leave them in detention for 4 months, and then run cover for it in your sermon, no. There you go.
Was that your rant?
No, I was just getting warmed up.
But I mean, I guess the Southern Baptists will say our seminaries do the same. Well, except the end part. Our seminaries do the same thing. Teach biblical truth and theological education, all those things. Like, it's a selection effect at this point too. People are going to mainline seminaries because they already are where they are politically, and they know they're going to get more of it when they go to seminary, and it becomes an echo chamber. I mean, if you want to really get mad at some stuff, well, at least me, maybe not you, but me, go watch the United Methodists. Like, they do that every 4 years. They have that big conference where all over the world comes, and they made every speaker at the general session mention their name, their gender, their pronouns, their country of origin, and their race. And there was someone literally keeping a tally sheet of everyone who spoke. And then the next day they would do a calculation, say, hey, man, we only had 40% women speaking on the floor yesterday. We need to make sure we do better next time. Like, that turned into a meme on social media where basically evangelicals got to make fun of the Mainline about.
They're like, look, first you ordain them, and then you actually let them talk at annual gatherings. What is this about?
Listen,
a slippery slope to the relativism of Eve's offspring.
My favorite part was some African bishop gets up there and goes, I'm not telling you my name or my pronouns or where I'm from. I just want to talk about the issue. And I was like, okay, sir, go ahead. Like, how'd they write that down, by the way? Did they even write that guy down? Was he in the tally sheet?
Oh, no, they wrote it down because they didn't know what to do, that they were both offended that he didn't do it, but also their white guilt made them want to recognize him in his own situatedness. And so
we're centering you right now in the discourse about settler colonialism.
Oh, man.
Are you guys Protestant, Trip?
Are you guys Protestant?
Someone just asked if we're Protestant.
Oh yeah, Protestant.
0650. I grew up Southern Baptist, got baptized in the church at 15 years old and served in 3 American Baptist churches, and now I'm a United Methodist. I've literally been Protestant from the first breath I've ever taken.
Oh. I'm a Baptist preacher's kid. So that worked in Mainline. All right, so
oh, hey, by gender, speaking of gender, we just talked about gender. So the sample, it was about 20% female.
Yeah, but see, you didn't tell them what the actual chart is here.
Okay.
You're acting like
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The chart says the partisanship of clergy and laity in mainline traditions by gender.
Yep.
So it's showing the difference between clergy and laity in political beliefs by the men and then by the women.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I wanted, because someone said, hey, don't you think like female clergy in mainline churches are further left than male clergy in mainline church? And I was like, I don't know. Let me figure it out. And you know what the answer is, Trip? Yeah.
Isn't it true, like, generally about the nation as well? So
that's true. Yeah. There's we call it the gender gap. It's about 5 to 7 percentage points that women tend to be more democratic than men. In the mainline clergy, the gap is about 27 percentage points. So 71% of female clergy in the mainline are Democrats, and basically none are Republicans. 3% are Republicans. Among the male clergy, 44% say they're Democrats, 17% say they're Republicans, and 30% say they're independents, which I think is interesting, because I think it's a way to say, like, I don't really want to say what I actually am. I'll just say I'm independent. So
yeah. So maybe it's just the men was out. They don't
probably.
They're like, oh, I'm independent. But yeah, I'm a member of the DSA, but in my state, I vote in the Democratic primaries.
Mm-hmm.
But also have known some mainline people that are registered Republicans just to vote for the least crazy one, even though they're not going to vote for them in the regular election.
So when I was 18, they had a primary in Illinois, and they had a guy named Dennis Kucinich running for president. Remember Dennis Kucinich? He believed in aliens. He was from Ohio. And I pulled a Democratic ballot because I wanted to vote for the alien-believing guy. Well, guess who handed me the ballot? It was one of the members of First Baptist Church of Illinois, a Southern Baptist church where I was born and raised. And guess what? They told my parents that I pulled a Democrat ballot for the primary, and that wasn't a fun conversation. I was like, I just voted for the weird guy because I thought he was funny, and that didn't go over well.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some comments when former youth made, what's his name? That one universal basic income guy.
Yang
Yang
Yeah,
Gang.
Mm-hmm.
I had a former youth Yang Gang member that his parents were lecturing him in Facebook comments about supporting him because he's not a real Democrat.
Oh, Yang is a weird dude though. Like I don't even know how to place him on the spectrum because he's kind of a Democrat, but in some ways he's not. I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not really into the Yang Gang or the Mayor Pete crew.
Who you like, Trip? Don't, if you say Bernie, I'm gonna hang up right now. Don't say Bernie. Bernie's like 85 years old, for God's sakes. We don't need that.
He's just now got to presidential age. Like, you could say someone like AOC, but then you're like, she's too young. You gotta at least have a set of dentures, right?
I think you got to be 55.
I don't know. What? How old was Obama when he came in?
In his late 40s.
Yeah, because he's like the president that I lost the least sleep over, thinking like he'll lose sleep if he has to make a decision none of us can know the information about.
Mm-hmm.
Like even, I mean, he's got plenty of letters from me complaining about his drone use program, but like I didn't think like he didn't lose sleep over it. Some of the others, I'm just like,
He was 47 when he got elected.
Yeah.
That's the right number, right? By the way, for us, that's 5 years away.
We're almost old enough. That's
scary to think about.
I'll be vice president, Ryan. I don't want to have to like actually make certain decisions. I just want to be your wingman that goes out too far, be the aggressive bulldog,
That's right. Campaign. When you got to get LASIK surgery though and shave your beard.
Well, why you want a vice president that is like, they're like, oh, he reads all the briefings and lets Ryan know about it in charts. And then Ryan's like, oh, you're finally speaking my language, charts.
Hey, speaking of Death by Lightning on Netflix, you got to watch it. 4-part series.
No, I did.
It's great, right? What's his face? Nick Offerman as Chester A. Arthur is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you all need to watch it. I'm serious. It's really good. Historically fairly accurate. Acting is unbelievable. It's funny, dramatic. Thumbs up.
Yeah. And when he gives the speech trying to nominate that one dude, and then everyone's like,
that really happened, by the way. Like, not exactly that way, but it happened.
That speech, I was like, okay, I know you're technically running for Republicans, but this is when they were, against slavery. So I was like, I could vote for that guy.
Yeah.
Best feature about it, you could tell he's actually a good person and will like lose sleep trying to make the right decision.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm asking for. Look, I used to really want to see my deepest values expressed. I've passed that. I just want someone that is like above average in competence.
Yeah.
And you think, oh, you know what? They really don't want to make a decision with all this power that has long-term effects for the least of these.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, yeah.
What a low bar. By the way, James Garfield, the day he got nominated, wrote in his journal more about his corn crop in Ohio than the fact he just got nominated for president of the United States.
There's no chance somebody that will ever be elected president has a journal that's not primarily something for them to publish in their book when they run for president.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is definitely not going to be about farming equipment.
No. You know what? That whole thing convinces me that anyone who thinks they should run for president should be automatically disqualified from running for president.
That you don't want to run. I want to be vice president. Least amount of work, unless things go really south. Sorry, Ryan. Rest in peace.
All right.
No one's taken the tactic as a vice president. Be like, nah, I'm just going to go to the Senate every day and chill. I'm going to do my thing. Like, that could be like a swerve. You're like, oh, okay, what do we have over here? We got Mike Pence. That didn't work out. Try to get himself killed.
Mm-hmm.
Asking for the Constitution to work.
Mm-hmm.
You got JD Vance just romancing tech billionaires, trying to unroll our future into a death spiral of energy farms. You're like, do we need Dick Cheney, Darth Vader? No basket there. Like you go back, you got Biden when he was vice president. Even then, you got all the eye rolls and couldn't use complete sentences, and it only got worse. So you're just like, when? What do we need? Like we need a vice president. They all have had their weird things. What if one's just like, I'm going to hang out in the Senate. I don't even need to be a tie-breaking vote. I just want to build relationship across the aisle. And all you do is every day, like you're trying to find someone in both parties to get loaded with in the back room.
That's
try to bring the people together.
Remember when he said, fighting, dancing, sausages. Remember that line?
Yes.
And he's like, when he's super drunk, he's like, can you help me find the sausage, man? Like, that was the absolute best, because Chester Arthur had no business being vice president of the United States, but he was.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought that's not a unique moment for us as a country.
Oh, no. No, I mean, Nick Offerman did a great job with that. By the way, you kind of give me some Nick Offerman vibes, Drip. I'm just saying you make a great vice president. You like sausages?
Oh, yeah, I like sausages.
Well, you like beer and you like cigars.
True.
What the hell else do you need, really?
Well, what about a large amount of funding from the primary port in 1960?
Yeah, you're the customs officer in New York, and 75% of all the revenue came through one port. God, that was a beautifully designed system, now wasn't it?
Yeah, it's almost as efficient as having your own crypto coin for international investors to put in to give the president and his family money, and then they surprisingly get pardons and contracts.
How does that happen? I don't even understand it.
Isn't that funny? How does that happen?
I don't even know. It's just you know who really grumps me about the whole thing? Ashley Babbitt. That's the one for me. I don't know what it is about that one specifically, but the fact that she's like become a martyr, she did nothing wrong. Yeah, she did. I watched the video, dude. She jumped through an open door in the Capitol when she was told to not get in, not go through the door, and she got shot and killed for it. Like, she did hey, FAFO. Okay, she's the epitome of FAFO. And then she wasn't guilty of anything. Like, you people have lost your ever-loving minds. Like, I can't abide. And she got a settlement, apparently. Her family got like a couple $1 million from our taxpayer dollars for her being an idiot on TV and being a traitor.
Well, I mean, that way we had to find something to do with all the money that we were using for food, education, and medicine for the, overseas, because, America first.
Trip, I can't talk to you. It makes me grumpy.
Oh, well. You know what else could make you grumpy?
Another slide.
Yeah, a graph right here.
Ooh. So this is a heat map, Trip.
Yeah, it is.
And so, like,
wrong one. A heat map.
Oh man, come on, hit me with the good one.
Oh yeah, mainline partisanship by ideology. Heat map.
Heat map. So ideology and partisanship are not the same thing, because you can be like a moderate Democrat or a liberal Republican. Not there's many liberal Republicans. You get my point, though. You can be, you can be lots of things, and so I think it's always good to map both of them. I'm grumpy all the time. I like to map both of them at the same time, and you can see and I did it into 2 age buckets. So 18 to 40-year-old people, and then over 40-year-old people, because I was wondering if the coming mainline clergy are even more left-leaning than the older mainline clergy. And guess what I found out? They are. Almost 60% of mainline clergy under the age of 40 call themselves liberal Democrats. Almost 60%. Among laity in that same age bucket, it's only 32%. So the clergy, young clergy, are twice as liberal as young laity are in the main line. So, and actually what's funny is it's a 2-to-1 ratio for older and younger. It just so happens the older people are slightly less liberal across the board than the younger people are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But, I mean, that's almost our age breakdown, right? Like we're right in the middle between those two.
Yep.
And I think it's because everyone younger than us, 9/11 was in high school.
Yep.
So all of those, you're discovering your faith and your politics after you get out of the home, are while the Republican Party is going like making junk up to go to war, Islamophobic, into the Tea Party, into Trump, all that kind of stuff. So like if you're still like down for the Lord, serving in a church, doing undergrad divinity school, all that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are you going to hear? Like the interesting part would, if you just had like a 9/11 truther question as well.
Oh,
because see that I think skews older, right? Because, but mainline clergy, there's nothing quite like the number of them that will like their favorite conspiracy theories, 9/11 truther stuff.
Hey, think about this, Trip. 5% of young mainline clergy are conservative Republicans.
Yeah, you want to know what percentage of them are part of the queer community?
I don't know. Is there a lot of young Republicans?
No, I'm just guessing like why you would say you're a UCC.
Oh yeah.
You're a UCC minister, but you're a conservative Republican. It's probably because you got a partner and that's the only church that'll take you. And that's like the secret way in a mainline congregation of like being a Republican, but being fully embraced.
Yeah, that's right. No, what's the whole line? If you're a failed academic, you can become an Episcopal priest pretty easy.
Because you already got a robe.
You already got a robe. You got the credentials. They love credentials in the Episcopal church. So
you just got to add a stole onto your hood.
Yeah, you're good. But think about this. So among the young laity, 29% are conservative Republicans. Among the young clergy, 5% are conservative Republicans. Among the older set, almost 40% of older mainline Protestants are conservative Republicans. It's only 13% of the clergy in that same age category. So 3 times more in the pews than in the pulpit. I mean, the gap is humongous here. And I don't know if the answer to the question, should your clergy look like your laity? I don't know what the answer is, but I don't think this is the answer. Like when there's this big of a divide between the two things, either direction, I think is problematic for all kinds of reasons.
Okay. So here, I have a thought about this. I've been thinking about, Charles Taylor has he has like these 3 big concepts running through kind of the reshaping of modernity in the secular age. And one of the features that he kind of tracks is like, how does the changes through modernity and its stages change the way people have strong takes? And by that, he just means like a conviction that will orient your life.
Yeah.
Right. And the one of the things that you see here, especially as mainline Protestantism is no longer culture dominant, so it doesn't have all the social incentives of becoming clergy. Then you need to belong to a group that, being progressive, a mainline Protestant clergy, has some, like, who is it that gets some social affirmation out of it? It's going to be like the ones whose like deep political convictions and things resonate with their faith. And that mainline Protestants will have people that are in the church and they participate-ish and are all there and stuff, but their faith expression's not the strong take of their existence. They aren't like wagering their life on being a moderate Republican.
Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree. Yeah.
And or maybe their moderate Republicanness is much more significant to them than that they go to an Episcopal church or a Methodist church. They're just like kind of going to that church, and it's fine as long as it's not obnoxiously progressive at the wrong time. And they only come twice a month, and they don't go to the Bible study, so they don't going to hear when you actually exegete or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, to me, like, part of the thing, once a vocation's no longer either has financial incentives or social capital, they rework. And I can't remember who it was that tracked how different vocations have changed over time. Like which ones changed when it became a female dominant industry, or which ones came when they were no longer white dominant, like what's the social prestige and financial outcome. And clergy, like if we were 30 years older and had our education, extrovert, preaching energy and blah, 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 like we would have a lot higher social cred, and the advancement and what we got paid as mainline clergy and our future and influence and talent would be much bigger. Like, And in that strong take bit and the social bit, those were 2 features. You'd sent these to me. I was rereading some Taylor stuff for a class next semester I'm teaching. What do you think?
No, the one thing I'll lay on top of this though is I think that theology folks way overestimate the share of Americans who are completely guided or have a very coherent set of beliefs that guide them through life. Like we want to believe that, like, oh, we're teaching this orthodox belief and the people in the pews are receiving the orthodox belief and sort of making that happen in their lives. Well, guess what? The data says that that's not actually what happens at all. Very few people actually believe so there's something called the Ligonier Institute. They do what's called a state of theology survey every year. And they ask like evangelicals questions about like, is Jesus the only way to heaven? And a significant number of evangelicals say no. Like the idea that lots of people have a very coherent theological understanding of the world is vastly overestimated, I think, by people in the clergy. Most of us, not to use a Christian Smith phrase, but like the moral therapeutic deism is really truly how most people get through life. Like God is generally hands off, but you can pray to him and it'll make you feel better. And really whatever theology makes sense to you is what makes, is actually true. We're compromisers. We try to find middle ground on things. And that's like whenever, like, this is a question I think should haunt my evangelical and Catholic friends. For many of them, they think the idea that sperm plus egg equal human, then abortion is murder, is self-evident. Like, how could you not understand how basic that is? And yet they've been preaching that for 50 years now, and the share of Americans who believe that has gone down over the last 50 years. So, like, if that message is so compelling to you as an individual, either you're really bad at communicating that to other people, or you're a weirdo. Like, psychologically, you're set up in a way that other people are not set up in that same way. And so why have you not been able to convince literally anyone in the aggregate that your view is right? And I think the answer is because people do not have coherent boxes in their mind that they slide things through. They just make stuff up as they go along. And it's really not the belief thing as much as people say it is, I suppose.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, that's the experience as someone who, professionalizes and thinking systematically. And because they thought that's just obviously how people would do it, managed to have PhD in philosophy and religion and a postdoc in science, philosophy and religion, and then has an ongoing internally consistent system in which he modifies it on a regular basis based on evidence with a plausibility scale of different commitments. I'll just say that if you raise conversations, even at a congregational level, about being internally consistent to our values, they just look at you like, why? I don't get it. Why is that a big deal? And, like they just think you're odd.
Because you are odd.
No, well, you don't have to explain that to me. I've been discovering this for most of my life, Ryan.
Yeah.
But like the funniest part though, or to me, or when you're explaining it to someone, like you're in a meeting, like we had this whole ordeal, like, oh, we're doing our church revisioning thing, right? And the wrong people on church council have critical mass and are suggesting something that's just like counter to the church's foundational documents and unique things to our denomination. And you're just like, look, I understand finding that compelling. I'm just like, you're in the wrong church for that. Like, we differentiated ourselves historically over this issue.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just seems right. But for what reason? I don't know.
The vibes, dude.
Yeah. And you're like, but that's not how you make, like, theoretically, Christians, and why we differ as, and why we differ in our denominations, because different communities came to think they were embodying a faithful response to God's self-revelation in the history of Israel in the person of Jesus, and it took these different expressions. And so if we were changing it, we would want to think, oh, we're cohering with a more faithful interpretation of God's self-testimony, not like honestly saying, we just would like to project this on God and pretend we all agree on it, and therefore it must be true. Mm-hmm. Right? Like that there's nothing inherently Protestant about it seems nice. I'm not saying that we don't
yes.
I'm not saying we don't do that on a lot of unexamined questions.
Yeah.
And then discover it maybe when a kid asks us a question we never thought of, or something happens in the world and it problematizes your picture. Like, yeah, we all have this problem. I'm just saying, our Protestant MO is God told us who God was in Christ, and Jesus called us to be disciples. And so we kind of got to work out of there. And I'm like trying to explain this in the most clear, simple way. And one of the other ministers says, yeah, I'm just going to have to shut this down. We're not going to do that, or all the clergy are leaving. And if you really want to talk about it later, we can, but not at the meeting. This old guy, been at the church 20 some years, gives a speech, and they look at him like, oh no, that's fine. We just thought it was cool. And then,
all right, cool.
2 months later, they're presenting to the church what we came up with, where half of it is opposite of what they wanted, but they're happy with that because this is what we agreed to. Oh,
there's this concept in social science called satisficing. It's like satisfying and sufficing put together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's the good enough answer, right? Like, and I think that's what because we don't, the theory is under rational choice, and I don't want to go on the whole, like rational choice, the idea you can make a perfectly you're a utility maximizer in every situation. So you always look for the best benefit for the least cost. We don't really do that. We basically figure out what's the easiest thing to do to get a little more benefit and a little less cost, and then just do that. Guess what? That's how people get through life. They just satisfy over and over again. They make the easy decision that makes their life a little bit easier, and they just walk away from it. They don't sit here and think about, like, what would Jesus do about artificial intelligence or in vitro fertilization or the problem of immigration? They don't think about that stuff. And by the way, great quote in the New York Times last week. They're asking people what they thought about the Venezuelan boat situation, the war crime.
Yeah.
Air quotes, the war crime. And one lady said it was justified because sometimes you have to do bad things for good reasons, like in the Bible when Jesus healed someone on the Sabbath. That was her moral equivalency to killing two people hanging on the wreckage of a boat.
Let's just hope that she was having a really bad day, was reaching for something, and thought, if I add Jesus to it, it'll be good. And that's what came out. Because that scene in Billy Madison where he gives that answer, and then the guy that's like judging because he has to get certain grade to pass the test.
Yes,
and he's like,
this is the waste of my time.
Yeah, and we're all dumber for having heard it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what's there. From the Facebook chat, Myron Pinner, cognitive science scientist, philosopher of science, does cognitive science of religion. He says CSR calls that theological disconnect theological incorrectness, defaulting to intuitive cognition instead of psychologically hard to maintain theologically correct doctrines.
Well,
there you go. Hold on.
What's CSR?
Cognitive science of religion.
Oh, I'm not in on your little games here, people.
Sorry. Cognitive science of religion is really cool because, one, religion evolves way before any forms of the religion we have currently. They're primarily like big gods, morals, beliefs.
Yeah.
Religion emerges rather quickly in humans, initially in more like shamanic trances, bonding rituals, music, dance, and stuff, even before we have language or script or text and these kinds of things. And when you start to see like some of the earliest kind of forms of like what we would identify as culture, religion's often the first thing we invest in, create something permanent, like a gathering spot because we're still moving around, or funeral, or like spaces of the dead. Like, so there's this whole like thing that's sitting there, and trying to understand religion, its role in human evolution and its story. Then you start to ask yourself, like, how did it emerge? And there are all these cognitive mechanisms that cognitive science has like identified in human beings cross cultures, which means like these are kind of like these cognitive mechanisms that are like part of our biological givens, and then they take different shapes and orientations, right, in different cultures and times. So like, what are these cognitive mechanisms that then kind of get strapped on to and religion ends up developing out of it? Like theory of mind. Every kid learns to develop a theory of mind, not just like you differentiate yourself from your parents. You start to think like other people that have minds like me, and they're different than me. And now I'm trying to learn, how do I please my mom? I got to be thinking what my mom's thinking. theory of mind. You connect that with, say, hyper agency detection device. This sense that we selected as a species for intuiting agency in things in the world, and we do it hyperactively. Why? If you dodge every rustling in the bush because you think it's a tiger, you have more kids than the dude that only does it a third of the time, right? And so you take that. I mean, anyway, there's all these little cognitive mechanisms that are just kind of given to being human. They take this expression early on in human species. It generates the nature of religion. And now those mechanisms, our biological inheritance is still the same. That doesn't evolve nearly as fast. Culture evolves much more quickly. But understanding the mechanisms can then help you understand the dynamics of religion for both the individual and in the communal context. And one of those features that I think Myron was talking about, and he's probably going to send me a thing telling me that was a mediocre shorthand and you got this wrong, but like theological incorrectness, where there's a sense of like you are in your group, you all share values in common, so you assume a lot more sameness, and then you kind of had this intuitive thing that you're like, oh, our tribe, we have this belief, and then you're like, but why? Well, no, but it doesn't cohere with this. I don't know. But there's this you have different logics and reasonings are sitting there. Anyway, sorry. There's whole episodes on it of people that invented the field. You can go Robert McCauley episode on Homebrewed, great. Myron's been on talking about it. There's anyway.
There reminds in Christian Smith, who came on the pod, right? Christian
Smith,
yeah. Like he tried to like track the zeitgeist. He tried to measure the zeitgeist, and that feels kind of like the same thing, right? It's like, how does culture move? We don't fully understand like why things get cool and then why they're not cool anymore. Like why we want to talk about certain ideas and then they go away. Like this is the hard part when it comes to like being a social scientist, though, is like there's certain things that are unmeasurable. And Christian Smith gets mad at me because he says I believe if I can't measure it, it doesn't exist, which he's not wrong on, by the way. I think you should be able to measure pretty much everything, but the zeitgeist lives in a way where you can't measure it. You can't predict. Like revival only makes sense in reverse. Like Søren Kierkegaard said that, by the way. We have to live life forward, but it only makes sense in reverse. Like that's the way that religion works a lot in my life. Not my life, in the American life. I can look back on it and go, of course that was what was going to happen to American religion. But at the time, I can't make any sense of it because it's like trying to like grab the zeitgeist is freaking impossible, By the way, I sent you the link in the private chat to the New York Times thing so you can read it for yourself and not think I'm making stuff up. If you want to drop it in the chat over there so everyone...
Good idea. I will drop it in the chat.
Drop it in the chat so people can actually, it's behind the paywall, but you can get around it. I won't tell you how, but if you're smart, you can. I pay for the New York Times. I was at the New York Times building yesterday. I pay for the New York Times. So take that.
Boom. Okay. So, we got one more. Do we have one more?
I can't remember what it was. Hit me with it.
Or it's going to be a blank screen.
Is it going to be a blank screen?
Oh,
no.
Nope.
This is without the age factor. So you can just see like straight up clergy versus laity. This is the 3x3 box. So partisanship on one axis, ideology on the other axis. And really the bottom left and the top right are where all the action is that you really want to take.
The action.
The bottom left is liberal Democrats. Among clergy, 45% of clergy are liberal Democrats. Among laity, it's 24%. So basically 2-1 on the liberal Democrat side. On the conservative Republican side, 12% of all mainline clergy are conservative Republicans. Among laity, it's 37%. So laity are 3 times more likely to be conservative Republicans than the clergy that are leading them every Sunday.
Okay, and this is just my guess, but I'm going to guess the liberal independents are left of the liberal Democrats.
I think you're probably correct. But I think if you look at the independents and the moderates on the laity side, I bet you a lot of them are actually Republicans.
No, that makes sense. Like,
yeah,
I'm thinking, Ryan, I have an ongoing relationship with large numbers of mainline clergy, and there's quite a few that get triggered by being called a Democrat. But you're like, well, if leftist isn't an option, I could pick liberal. But
if you pick independent, basically what you're saying is you're actually further left than liberal.
Yeah,
I get it. That makes sense. But even that makes it worse in some ways, Trip, because now you're at 56%, clearly left of center.
Yeah, because there's not a whole lot of left independence in that laity box.
There's no, yeah. Liberal independence is 0%. 0%. You do see a nice number of moderate Republicans. Those are like I call them like the country club Republicans, which is actually what I think is like the main line typically is country club Republicans. That's 11% there. And then 17% say they're moderate Democrats, which I think those would be like the old school, like Bill Clinton Democrats is what I would guess.
Mm-hmm.
So
so yesterday I did a Substack post talking about this and my random thoughts when I was looking at this to, prime the pump of sorts. And some of the messages I got back are hilarious.
mm-hmm.
Where someone was like, "Oh, about this one in particular,
Mm-hmm.
something." They're like, "Oh yeah, Ryan shared." I guess it was this, and it made me think of how much less tension's been in my church ever since Trump, because all the country club Republicans pulled a Cheney and switched teams, and they were like, "That was our right wing." And so they switched teams, and he said that he hadn't had his church all vote for the same political candidate in years. And he's like, I didn't know one. And before, it was usually this awkward thing where a third of the congregation was voting for Mitt Romney, and then a week after, you're like, who's going to be uncomfortable coming? He's like, this time
we're all comfortable now. Thanks, Trump.
He brought the mainline moderates together with their DSA clergy member.
Hey, we can disagree on like taxation rates and universal health care, but we can all agree that Donald Trump sucks. Thank you.
You know what we want? Not to bomb people illegally.
Not to commit war crimes. Is that what you're trying to say? Right
We're against war crimes.
That's a great campaign slogan, by the way. We're against war crimes. That's it. Like, that's the number one slogan you've got.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
I forgot I was going to ask you in our very extended intro for those that are members that didn't get the
They're going to get free content here. Let's go.
Yeah. Last time we did this, it was before there was the whole kerfuffle over all the Epstein stuff again.
Oh,
or
God,
Marjorie Taylor Greene going like scorched earth.
Yeah.
And I believe we had joked previously about like wondering if his conspiracy theory, fertilizing, was going to have a backlash if things got out of hand. And then everything's happened since then.
Yeah.
And now the number of mainline Protestants that have in the last 6 months become experts at the Epstein conspiracy is significant.
Isn't that amazing how that happens? Like, they weren't like Alex Jones people until about 6 months ago. And then all of a sudden they went way down the rabbit hole, and here we are.
Yeah, you got that. And then Tucker Carlson does a whole podcast series on 9/11 conspiracy stuff. And now they're catching up with like, post 9/11 leftist mainliners.
Have you heard of the horseshoe theory of public opinion? Like, for those of you who don't know, like, we always assumed like ideology was a straight line. Like, the liberals are on the far left and the conservatives are on the far right. And now there's a new theory emerging that's actually a horseshoe, that like the far left and the far right are actually a whole lot closer than we think they are. And like on conspiracy theories, like vaccines is one where you definitely see that theory play out, because the far left and the far right are very close on vaccines and on a lot of these conspiracy theories. So I do think we're seeing a weird shifting of how we think about ideology, like visually, like conceptually. And the far left and the far right are not as far apart as we thought they were, even 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Dude, but whatever jokes we made, and I don't remember what we said. And I'm sure our discussion of Epstein was in our not public part, but I had someone then send me a list of news articles, and hadn't very little to do with like Epstein's sketchy stuff of the sexual variety and that kind of thing. But it was all the stuff that's come out about like his financial connections globally. Ooh. And Drop Site News has been tracking it, which is one of my favorite, well, since discovering it, someone sent it to me, favorite like news substacks. And the financial stuff behind Epstein, all the money that he was like moving around, a bunch of his emails came out, and like the
Yeah.
former prime minister of Israel and him are discussing how to get weapons contracts. And I mean, it is, here's Tripp's new prayer, is that all the conspiracy theorists around Epstein push just enough that the military industrial complex, as revealed, is a fundraising scam for the 0.01%.
Listen, I always
And
thought
we
the
can
more
take down some pedos
and the
guns
military industrial
in the
complex.
military industrial complex.
I always thought that the more interesting question about Epstein is not the pedophilia thing. It's how did he get so rich? Because no one can answer that question. Like,
Oh, you got to go read these emails.
I got to read these emails.
The dude who, like the Victoria's Secrets guy, some of these emails, I'm uncomfortable describing it, but Drop Site News,
I'm gonna go.
Go check out their Substack.
Yeah.
It's great. They're currently like, they got sued by, like the BBC, for doing a story on a documentary that they had paid to have made and then refused to show it, which has like all this footage and like on the ground stuff from like bombing, Israel bombing Palestine and things. And it was all set to go, and someone above them at the BBC's like, no, we're not showing this.
What?
And they like, the UK's like, oh, using, they don't have the same free speech laws as real deal Americans do.
I'm not going to Europe, by the way. I don't want to go on a whole rant, but Europe is getting worse and worse by the day. Full stop. I'm not going to Europe, Trip. They don't have air conditioning or ice or free speech.
Oh God. Look, I love Europe. I will, if you were considering inviting Ryan to Europe so he could show his slides, I will impersonate him in Europe with his slides.
Yep.
And make moderately related tangential comments to them while I show them.
Thank you.
On his behalf.
I don't want to get on the plane that
We're
long.
both Y2K high school graduates.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. When I'm there, I'll pretend I've never watched like really, really classic films, like It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might even do some cardio like you instead of swinging kettlebells while I'm there. If it means I get paid to go to Europe again.
But here's the other thing: we both grew up Baptist and became mainline pastors too.
It's true. It's true. It's true.
So
there's a niche market. And,
Drop Site News. I'm on it right now on the old Substack. It's got a lot of they publish a lot of crap on there, dude.
Oh yeah, there's 3 or 4 like investigative journalists that left their jobs to start that together. Ryan Grimm's one of them, and he's my favorite member of the Breaking Points news podcast, which is my favorite, because they always have like they essentially have a populist right wing and a populist left wing person as the commentators. Each week they have 2 sets. I mean, anyway, I really enjoy Breaking Points. It's my favorite news podcast. If I'm only going to listen to one in a day, I listen to that one at double speed.
Not your cigar one? Do you still listen to cigar podcasts?
Oh yeah, I didn't mean one podcast. I meant a news one, because sometimes I just think I don't have any agency to do anything about this. So, do I really want to raise my blood pressure this morning?
That's how I've gotten.
We did another war crime.
You could have said my words exactly. Like I don't follow the news as much as people assume I do, because I've gotten into a very fatalistic viewpoint of like, what am I going to do, man? You know what I mean? Like, it just makes me mad, and nothing's going to change. And Trump's whatever Trump is, and the Democrats are feckless, and we're just stuck in a doom loop. It'll whatever,
Well, look, I mean, don't say it could get worse. No tempting.
By the way, can I answer Dave's question about how much of that's because liberals left?
Yeah.
The answer is some of it for sure.
But the question is, how much of this, the partisanship divide, is due to liberal or left-leaning folks leaving church altogether?
Yeah, I think it's partly leaving, but partly just like older mainliners died, to be honest with you. It's both and. The mainline has always had a retention problem, like we talked about before. They're keeping 60% of their young people, and the evangelicals are keeping 75 to 80% of their young people. It's like, well, who would self-select out of the mainline? I think the answer now, I think a lot of young people, did you know, here's a fun fact, among young people, young white people, which would be like the next generation of the mainline.
Yeah.
If you're very liberal, 70% chance you're non-religious now. So like they're not sticking around in these mainline churches because they see Christianity in America as inherently conservative, because evangelicals, and Catholics dominate the conversation.
If it counts as conservative.
Well, you know what I mean. Like
war crime conservative.
Well,
not normal conservative.
These are our delineating factors. Are you talking about war crime conservatives or just like George W. Bush compassionate conservative types? Because they're not the same thing. Although Bush probably committed war crimes too, but no one wants to hear that. Actually, Dick Cheney did.
Yeah, I was about to say. He didn't know he was.
I feel like you should know if you're committing a war crime or not, don't you think?
Oh, Dick said the lawyers looked at it. It's just called enhanced interrogations.
Did you know that he did not have a heartbeat? He had a fake heart put in his chest like in 15 years ago, and it worked for him really well. He literally had no pulse at the end of his life before he died, the last 10 years of his life, which the jokes just write themselves, don't they, Trip?
Oh, yeah, it is.
Anyway, so I do think part of it is that older mainliners just died, and that shifted. And by the way, I do think that the mainline clergy did not old mainline clergy are not super liberal. Like I mean like the ones who already died, like the ones who trained up in the 50s and 60s. They weren't trained up the same way as this most recent batch of mainline clergy is. And also, you know this better than I do, Trip. These mainline seminaries are struggle bus right now. Like they can't give seats away to people who want to become mainline pastors, because a lot of young people, if you're a pastor, you're almost always a conservative, because that's just what young people think religion is now. So mainline seminaries are in a lot of trouble on a bunch of fronts. And you want to talk about one of the worst jobs in America? Being a president of a mainline seminary that does not have a huge endowment is going to be tough over the next 20 years.
Yeah. Yep. The maybe we'll like win the lottery, Ryan. Now that everyone's starting to gamble. Like, who needs to go to church when you can gamble on your phone on Sunday mornings?
Do you see the Derek Thompson thing? Like, young people are a bunch of monks in casinos.
No.
It's a really interesting. It's called Monks in a Casino. And it's basically like the idea of young people are not social at all, but they can like gamble on Bitcoin and meme coins and in baseball and all on their phones. Like it's all like this digital gambling thing. And it's like, that's not entirely wrong, man, especially young men. Like they're not drinking. Alcohol rates in America have dropped precipitously. Drugs are not that high. People aren't having sex anymore. They're just literally looking at their phones and gambling on meme coins. It's a weird world we live in.
I feel like we're going to get to a point, right, where the like reclaiming masculinity energy in the right-wing church is like, oh, we need to bring back drinking behind buildings, sneaking off to fool around with your significant other, and everyone should smoke a cigarette or two on the weekend.
Hey, they're like, in a cornfield sponsored by St. Paul's Episcopal Church.
We need some stuff to complain about. What are you going to confess your sins on? If you aren't drinking, smoking, and banging, we're going to have to admit other sins that Jesus condemns. And, being a selfish, filthy, rich person can't add that one. Not going to add gluttony, sloth to the like.
Nope.
What do you expect us to do? Read the Sermon on the Mount to find things to work on? We need our youth breaking rules and feeling guilty about it.
Kids these days, except they're not kids these days anymore. It's like, what are we yelling at? Old man yells at cloud. These kids they're not doing anything.
You need to get off the roadblocks and have a friend that sells drugs.
That's right. You take a rip off a bong, put down the meme coins, and pick up the joints.
Yeah, that's what right here. Ryan Burge, new job. What's your new job?
Convincing young people to start smoking Marlboros again.
No, I was going to get you to say something about your new position right after you
God.
said everyone needs to do drugs.
Oh God, no! Wash, you would get rid of me.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
Thank you. Allegedly. Oh, by the way, I have read Christian Smith's book, Why Religion Went Obsolete. I actually wrote a review of it in Christianity Today, where I generally praised it, but I thought his ability to measure concepts is not nearly as good as I want him to be to make the argument that he made.
But which is good for everyone to know, because this is probably more of a Christian Century audience. And so since it was in Christianity.
I've never published a single thing in the Christian Century.
Everyone has goals in life.
That ain't it.
You want to know the only thing of mine that's been in the Christian Century was a parody divinity school application for a liberal divinity school.
Did you use the word like settler colonialism in there?
I wrote it back in like my 07 or something.
Oh.
And so it was more edgy for then than it is now.
Now it reads kind of like anachronistic, a different time.
Well, now it might actually be now it might be a little too accurate.
Oof, too on the nose. You can't. Here's the thing, Trip. We all know that the Mainline butters your bread, so you gotta keep them happy now.
I'm ready for them to butter some bread. I don't.
No butters my bread. Nobody at this point.
Look. If somebody wants to give me benefits, I'll do a lot of things. Until then, I'm just sitting here going, I love being a small business owner and getting my first house after I turn 40, have a small business and a small family, and then Trump raises my health insurance 317% and doubles my student loans next year. So thanks, Trump. It's big and beautiful.
You didn't vote for him anyway.
Nope. But 30% of the people at my church did. Oh, look at that callback.
Trip, when's the last time you went to church? Real talk. Last time you went to church?
Wednesday.
Dang, dude. Wednesday. You go in the midweek?
Dude, I'm a Wednesday fundamentalist.
You go Wednesday only or Sunday and Wednesday?
Well, I almost always go on Wednesday. Sunday's flexible because all the kids all do all the youth stuff at night. And then I'm like, sometimes I just go to Sunday school and then go home and watch a service while I smoke a cigar on my computer. But Wednesday, I love Wednesday the best.
What church? What denomination?
It's like a progressive Baptist church. It's like, CBF and Alliance.
Okay. That's Mainline in the neighborhood of. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much like it's a Southern Mainline church, and I never miss Theo's fried chicken night. Whenever the fried chicken, every Wednesday night it's a meal, dude.
That's why you go Wednesday nights, huh? Because it's free food.
I don't have to cook. There's entertaining things that happen. Like this Wednesday was different. We didn't split up in our groups.
Yeah.
Like age groups or class groups and stuff. Mm-hmm. We had a meal. Everyone brought their family's favorite Christmas dessert for the dessert part. And then we did like the first 30 minutes, kids pick Christmas songs and they went and practiced their Christmas thing. While then the adults picked their favorite Christmas hymns. Mm-hmm. The only disappointing part was our Baptist hymnal didn't have verse 3 of "O Holy Night" in it. And I'm like,
what's that one? What's giving me the gist?
Truly, he taught us to love one another. His gospel.
That's a great one.
It's like literally the greatest Christmas hymn and the most amazing verse. "O Holy Night." And I actually said this because when people were picking and they were originally just doing like one verse, right? Unless it's super short. Mm-hmm. And then someone had picked "O Holy Night." And then they came over to me, our side of the room, and no one was raising their hand to pick one. And I said, "Hey, can I pick "O Holy Night"? But we sing one of the other verses because they get better every verse. And she was like, "All right, let's do the next verse." I was like, "Well, we don't even have verse 3. And one of the ministers, I'm sure people hate having me as just like a regular attender with my commentary. Worse if I show up in your Bible class. And I go, "But come on, verse 3. That is the single best Christmas hymn verse. It captures that the moment of incarnation is, in fact, God universally reconciling God's self to all creation, transforming the future of each living thing into the divine life. Come on. You got to have that stuff. And this old guy behind me leans over and he goes, "That's my favorite verse too." And I was like, I feel
Let's
seen.
go.
I feel seen.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna hear some of my liberal divinity school application?
What year is this from?
08.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
All right. Okay, let's see. Beginning, blah blah blah. When it goes to what degree you're applying for, you have to check a box of what kind of indoctrination you want. Personal information: imposed name, patriarchal name, real name. Are you a citizen of the American Empire? Why? Where the federals deliver your documents. Institutions of past indoctrination or liberation. And this is where you put your other schools. Did you get a degree? Was it meaningful? List all the good you did, including marches, protest speeches, and sticking it to the man. Ever suspended, dismissed, or arrested? Yes, hell yes, not yet are the options. List all other schools which you passed on your pilgrimage to your true self. Specialized training or skills, especially in useful areas: organic horticulture, interpretive dance, deconstruction of meta-narratives, making tea, guitar, etc.
Not like how it's making tea right after deconstructing meta-narratives. That's
Perceived
so on brand.
Experiences of what some call work. What did you do? Who paid the bills? How did this make the world a better place? How did you grow as a person? Meaningful relationships? Please provide a journal or artistic expression of your engagement in the world.
I need you to do a bricolage about how you feel when you're 18.
Demographic information, so the government knows how much money to give you. My ancestors were oppressed by Europeans by 1, being taken into slavery; 2, Spanish colonization of the New World; 3, colonization of Asia; 4, conquest of Pacific Islands; English colonization of the New World; economic exploitation of globalization; or I have benefited from all the exploitation of the other peoples, aka I'm white but overcoming.
I'm part of the struggle now. Hey, I knew settler colonialism would show up, and there it is right there.
Oh, but here's what made me think of it. You can imagine all the boxes for gender. Political affiliation: Democratic Party, Green Party, Freedom Socialist Party, Labor Party, Peace and Freedom Party, Democratic Socialist Party. Like it goes through all of them. No Republicans.
No Republican option at all. Yeah.
Involvement in church: spiritual, not religious. Worship the goddess within. Worship the earth. Old line liberal. Evangelical: I like the music in the gym. Episcopal.
I got Episcopal's own category.
Yes. What else?
UCC doesn't get its own category.
What else would you like to share with us? Did you violate any arbitrary norms of the bourgeois society and experience confinement? Are you likely to? Are you sure? Will you be cool dealing with folks who aren't like you? Do the authorities have records of your perceived misdeeds? Please provide us with names of people who will write a letter telling us how wonderful you are, even though we all know it's propaganda.
I'm surprised they published this.
I certify that all information provided on this application, any attached paperwork, and the attached essays are accurate and truthful, even though we all know that truth is a relative term that supports the entrenched power of elite institutions and contributes to the oppression of peoples everywhere.
Trip, this is a masterpiece. I'm not gonna lie to you. This is like Saturday Night Live level, but it only works on like 10% of the population who would get these jokes. That's the problem. You know what I mean? Wow. I like how it's imposed name.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there you go. That was I haven't got a job at admissions at a divinity school yet, but.
You think that ever happened? Like where you applied to a div job and they looked that up and were like, nope, not this guy.
They're like, look, he was in the Christian Century. The funny part was, this was like at the time, where blogging was cool, and they were like cool stuff from blogs. So they pull it out, put it up there, but they didn't put that I did it.
Oh, that's annoying.
I know. I was so mad. I was like, I'm in the Christian Century, and they didn't even get my name on it.
That seems like that's a crime. They're criming right now. They're stealing your intellectual property.
Yeah. Yeah. It's okay. I've survived.
I mean,
I survived the
barely.
struggle.
The struggle.
All right.
Well, Trip, let's talk about the class. You can register for the. When are you going to drop the link for the class?
I already did.
You dropped the link for the class.
But I'll have to do it again. I'll do it again.
Drop the link for the class. It's me and Tony Jones. Trip's going to be there. We got some special guests. They're going to be great. Four sessions. Lots of graphs. Lots of talk about the nuns. A new way to categorize the nuns. Should be really good. I'm excited to do it. Never done this before, but I mean, cool. Should be cool. And
yeah.
One more thing. I've got a book coming out in a month. Actually, a month from tomorrow, called The Vanishing Church: How the Hollowing Out of Moderate Congregations Hurts Democracy, Faith in Us.
Mm-hmm.
You can pre-order on Amazon, Brazos. Let's go, get you a copy, tell your friends.
What?
Actually, I make the argument for like the value of the mainline in a functioning democracy. So, the people who are mad at us right now should be happy with that book, because it actually makes the mainline seem pretty cool.
Well,
even though it's old.
I know your publisher's sending me one. So after I get it, then we can talk about it on the podcast.
Yep. Brazos is the one. And like I said, ebook, audiobook's coming out too. I did not read the audiobook. They asked me to, and I said, absolutely not. I got things to do with my life. So I don't want to read what I wrote, because the whole time I just figure out how dumb I am. You'll
start editing it.
Yeah, like, well, that sentence sucks. Like, let me redo that. Well, too late now. You got to read the book the way it's written. So anyway, that's next on the agenda. And then obviously my Substack is Graphs About Religion. You can sign up there. I got free tier and paid tier. And Trip has a Substack. Tell us about it, Trip.
Oh yeah, process this. Come on, process this Substack. I'm trying to get cool like Ryan. And Ryan, you and Diana were like, come on, you got to come on Substack. And it's going good. It's going good.
Are you glad you moved to Substack?
Yeah. Yeah. The publisher is Brazos.
Brazos is my publisher and then I have a 2-book deal with Zondervan for a book in 2027, a book in 2029. This should be really good too. But I haven't even started writing the book that's coming out in 2027 yet. So I should probably get to that at some point in my life.
Good idea.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go drive some teenagers to the state football championship because the high school's in it.
Your son's not playing football, right?
No, just cheering.
Because you're a good liberal, and liberals don't let their kids play football.
I think a lot of people, if their kid was always in the smaller quarter of the population, would encourage him to invest his energies elsewhere. Like building Lord of the Rings Legos.
Now that sounds like fun.
Yeah, no injuries there.
Death Star Lego is $100 or $1,000.
I know. I've felt the temptation.
Don't do it.
I've thought about ordering the imitation version from China.
Yeah.
Because it's only like 300.
Yeah.
And they just steal stuff anyway, so it's bound to be almost exactly alike.
And Lego's really the evil empire at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's all blocks. Tries to force you into matching people's form. Doesn't happen at liberal divinity schools. No squares allowed.
What's your imposed name?
Oh, yeah. All righty. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Thank you, Ryan. We'll see you all for the class, The Rise of the Nuns.